Okay, everyone, I have an update whenever it comes to the RawBeautyKristi of it all. So we were aware that RawBeautyKristi was crashing the out on her YouTube channel because she said that a journalist had reached out with an article that was going to be posted, and that this article was basically talking about this like influencer, beauty influencer to like alt-right pipeline. And basically she finally addressed things that she hadn't addressed in so long because this was going to be going to an article, and she was thinking that this article was going to be focusing on her and stuff like that. You know what is so crazy that I didn't want to say in the moment? I knew about the article because it was by Kat Tembarge. I knew that Kat was writing the article. However, whenever I was reacting to it, I didn't know if the article was going to come out or not, so I was like... But anyways, the article that was stressing RawBeautyKristi the fuck out, that made her jump the gun to be like, I ain't no conservative, is out. And I want to go through it because I haven't read it. I love Kat's work. Give it up for Kat Tembarge, everyone. But this is the article. This is the article that made RawBeautyKristi crash the fuck out. How wellness and beauty influencers can be a part of an alt-right pipeline for teen girls. An article from Teen Vogue. So, let's get into it. And again, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. We're getting close to 500k. And also, my Patreon is still 30% off all tiers using code YouTubeMucker. Tonight, we're going to be doing Ruby Frankie's Devil in My Family documentary. But if you go over, you'll already get access to me reacting to Trisha's Broadway show, me reacting to Escape the Night Season 1, 2, and 3, and also me reacting to Beast Games Season 1. But let's get to the article. I'm intrigued to see the angle of this. How wellness and beauty influencers can be a part of an alt-right pipeline for teen girls. The woman's fear is coming for teen girls by Kat Tembarge. Give it up for Kat Tembarge, everyone. All right. Welcome to Information Wasteland, a series about the many ways misinformation is worming its way into our algorithms and minds, wreaking havoc on our culture. Here, writer Kat Tembarge dives into how wellness and beauty influencers can lead people down an alt-right pipeline, examining one of the many ways misinformation can reach teen girls specifically. This is exactly like word for word what RawBeautyKristi was saying in her video. Like, this article reached out to me and they were saying how, beauty influencers can lead to an alt-right, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't even fucking hide it. Like, I don't know if she's mentioned in this by name. I don't know if she's mentioned by name. But if she isn't, it's even funnier that she basically jumped the gun on basically having to make that shitty-ass video for, like, no reason. So anyways, let's get to this. Jeffree Star was bleaching the roots of his hot pink hair on TikTok Live when he started making a speech about how the LGB, the lesbian, gay, and bisexual community, should be separate from the T, the trans community. And let me just say as well on that point, not that Jeffree Star is anything credible, but trans people make the queer umbrella. Like, gay people are nothing without trans people. Bisexual people are nothing without trans people. Lesbians are nothing without trans people. Like, I don't think people realize how integral trans people are to LGBTQ plus IA. I never forget that. And also, if you're interested, I made a video yesterday where I talked about Jeffree Star's pivot to conservatism. And basically, spoilers, I don't think he believes in it. I think that it's a grift. So I would go and watch that because this is very topical. Then he posted the clip on X, formerly Twitter, and asked for thoughts from his audience. Oh my god, grifting, provoking for attention, rage baiting, if you will. The beauty influencer's replies quickly filled up with derogatory comments about trans and non-binary people, which has become a major theme in Jeffree Star's viral content as of late. A grift, if you will. Despite his own flamboyant, gay, gender-bending persona. But is that profitable for him anymore? That was my full video. Is that profitable for him anymore? Less than a decade ago, at the height of Star's YouTube fame, he released, basically it was like an androgynous palette, and it referred to himself as an alien rather than a gender, and said he used every pronoun, which is so funny because now he goes on podcasts being like, fuck the pronouns. Loser. He still wears dresses and high heels and sells makeup, But now he's also parroting anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric, has said he doesn't believe in the they-them pronouns, and promoted a post by an extremist anti-trans hate group. Of course, because what is more profitable for people when they lose their relevance? They go alt-right. They go down a conservatorship. We just talked about Wendy Williams. They go down a conservative pipeline because that has proven to be quite profitable within the last couple of years. But let me tell you something. We are currently exiting that because we are seeing people in this like alt-right, red pill, speaking up and changing their opinions because it's no longer the popular fucking, profitable take to be a hateful piece of shit anymore. And you will see Jeffree Star pander back again. When that makeup hits its expiry date, oh my god, he's gonna be they, them, and y'all up and down. He is gonna be one of y'all. You know what I mean? Losers. We won't forget though. About 100,000 people have unfollowed me this week, Jeffree Star said during a YouTube roundtable hosted by Piers Morgan. Oh my god, okay, so it just... stupid fucking sentences. Goodness me, can it get worse? This is who he hangs out with now? Jesus, even Shane just like fucking dealt with it and hung out with his fucking brother who's like, the earth is flat. Goodness me. Jeffree Star was also invited onto Morgan's show, Piers Morgan's, for the first time after he defended the late far-right political activist Charlie Kirk, who founded the Turning Point USA organization. And Jeffree was going crazy during the Charlie Kirk of it all. Star was surrounded by conservative influencers. I loved a lot of what he said, and it resonated with me. The beauty guru said about Charlie Kirk. The good news is hundreds of thousands of more people have followed me after these comments, and they're on the exact same page. It's a grift. It's a grift. It's finding a new audience when the previous one don't want you. Damn, no one want you for fucking real. Star is one of the many influencers in the beauty and wellness space who is embedded in what some people call an alt-right pipeline. His latest pivot may be unsurprising in the context of his racist MySpace past. He has since apologized, and other controversies, and I said this in my video that I made. I really would go and watch it. I had a lot of fun deep diving how much of a fucking hypocrite and like pander he is. Grift alert, grift alert, grift alert. Oh, for sure. For fucking sure, grift alert. But with Jeffree Star, I just find it so interesting because I'm like, is Jeffree Star grifting, or was Jeffree Star grifting when he was in the beauty community? Because he was racist, he was problematic, and then he apologized and tried to stop, and then became one of the biggest beauty influencers, and then is now going back to that way. So is this the real What do you think, y'all? Is this the real Jeffree, or is he just grifting again? Come on, let me know. He tries so hard to stay relevant. He's kissing MAGA's ass. Whatever is profitable for a new audience. I think this is the real Jeffree. This is the real Jeffree. Will the real Jeffree please stand up? Literally. Fucking literally. It's so crazy. It really is so crazy. I did see that clip where one of the speakers was calling Jeffree racist for his past, and he was like, I've never said that. I've never said that. I've never said that. Jeffree Star literally, like, is the epitome of Donald Trump. Like, it is literally Donald Star, Jeffree Trump, where it's like, if someone says something to you that you have done, there's documented proof of you doing it, and you just deny it, how can we argue with you? You're stupid. You said this. Here's a clip of you. I never said that. I never said that. I'm pretty sure Trump was raised on the morals of if you have done something that you don't want to admit up to and someone confronts you, just say you haven't done it. How can you argue with that? Jeffree Star is one of the many influencers in the beauty and wellness space who is embedded in this, what some people would call an alt-right pipeline. His latest pivot may be unsurprising in the context of his racist MySpace past and other controversies, but it also mirrors what's happening on the internet at large. It's not just Andrew Tate and the mansphere at radicalizing men and boys, the online beauty and wellness community, which teaches many women, girls, and queer people how to apply eyeshadow and blush or what yoga routines to follow, among other things, has also began pushing some towards the modern conservative party under Donald Trump. But this pipeline hasn't been taken nearly as seriously. Beauty and these more feminized types of digital work have been deemed less important and obviously non-consequential to our country when that's not true at all, says Mariah Wellman, an assistant professor in advertising and public relations at Michigan State University, who researches how wellness influencers have played a role in Trump's re-election and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Anti-vaccine, Make America Healthy Again movement. Think about the amount of women in the last few election cycles who have literally voted against their own rights. Reddit forums have compiled lists of MAGA-adjacent beauty influencers to avoid, but the woman's affair is nearly unavoidable now. On platforms like TikTok, conservative rhetoric is reaching an even younger audience through videos that also include popular memes and soundbites. This demographic tends to already be more disillusioned with politics than other generations. The year 2020 was a major turning point for creators in the beauty and wellness industries. Makeup sales plummeted, and they plunged while people were stuck at home during the pandemic, and trends in skincare, wellness, and natural clean beauty replaced the colorful, heavy makeup looks of the 2010s. Therefore, less money involved, these people are moving on to new grifts and ways to make money. The wellness industry is defined by the idea that buying products is what makes you healthy, Wellman explains, with the caveat that you'll never be able to buy enough. The wellness industry specifically targets women and girls in the same way that beauty always has, by creating and enforcing standards of living that predominantly apply to them. This is amazingly written, by the way. Bravo. When you see it, like, written out like this, like, damn. I feel like my brain is expanding. Me when I read a Kat Tambarge article, for real. Other kinds of rhetoric aimed specifically at women and girls include fear-mongering about birth control and its potential side effects. Conservative podcast Alec Clark, who is closely associated with Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA and has a right-leaning health and wellness podcast, has characterized birth control as synthetic versus pregnancy, which she says is natural. Of course, because by the fucking way, I went on, I think it was like 2 days ago, I got fucking drunk as shit. And I listened to a bunch of, like, the most popular conservative podcasts. These people are fucking obsessed with America's birth rate. They are so obsessed with women pumping out children, and it's always the men. It is weird as fuck. And they spread this fucking rhetoric of, like, birth control bad so that people can have more babies. It's really fucking creepy. It really is creepy. Extremism researcher Marc-Andre Argentino coined the term pastel QAnon to describe how women can be lured into the far-right conspiracies through content about motherhood and female-coded aesthetics. Some beauty and wellness influencers have proven to be a natural fit for this ecosystem. The biggest gurus in makeup were once YouTubers like Jeffree Star, who used flash. So again, this explains why Jeffree's moving on. It's not profitable anymore. These people have it so easy in life, right? But by the end of the 2010s, Jeffree Star traded his Calabasas in California mega mansion for a Wyoming yak ranch, where he now spends much of his time hawking products on TikTok Live. Teen Vogue reached out to Jeffree for comment, but we have not heard back. Of course. Typical. He wasn't the only beauty guru to leave the city and chase a rugged, homesteading aesthetic either. RawBeautyKristi. Oh, I didn't know she was going to get mentioned. So again, you know what I do want to say as well? This article up until Raw Beauty has been mentioned because I haven't read on is really fucking informative. And the fact that she blew up with that video, I don't know what's going to be said about her, seems a little bit of an over-exaggeration because this fucking article is so goddamn good so far. RawBeautyKristi started her main YouTube channel in 2013, so this is what made her freak the fuck out. And today it has over 1 million subscribers. She and her husband also maintain a smaller side channel launched in 2019 after they purchased a rural Washington home and plot of land. They started making content about chicken coops, dirt bikes, and garden tours. Fucking riveting, by the way. Jesus Christ. Today's beauty TikTokers do a lot of stuff. They don't just do makeup. They do day in the life content and clothes and homesteading and gardening, Wellman says. Part of that is because the space has become so saturated, consumers and audiences want to know if they align with the person as a whole. Isn't her patio so darling? It is so fucking darling. It is, you've never seen a patio so darling. They've just said, RawBeautyKristi, we've just never seen it so fucking darling. Like, oh my God. Since RawBeautyKristi entered the influencer scene, other women who created, oh, sorry, I just skipped ahead for no reason. He's at it again. Always comes in. Vangelina made a video on me and the Swiftologist, and the comments are like, why does Adam break into a Trump impression? Oh my goodness. All right. They want to know if they align with the whole person. Not just can you do a full beat, because are you voting for the same person I'm voting for? Are you living your life and raising your children the same way I am? And people are like, keep politics out of it. I think it is more than okay to want to know the political beliefs and the alignment that the people that you're directly funding their lifestyle. I believe that you have a right to want to know that. Whether they tell you or not is one thing. Whether they lie to you is one thing. But you have an absolute right to know. And let's stop acting like we don't. You guys, I talk about my stuff. You have a right to know what I think. Like, because, like, this is my job. You know what I mean? And if you don't care about a creator's political beliefs, then okay, that's fine. Like, but a lot of people do. Since RawBeautyKristi entered the influencer scene, other women who create lifestyle content have far eclipsed her platform. In a way, she's now catching up to the trad wives like Nara Smith and Ballerina Farm, two influencers whose content has reached millions more people than Kristi, shady, but follow the career path that she helped build. A lot of what these women are selling is aspirational wealth, either an outdoorsy trad version or a sleek modern one, but viewers tend to reward whatever looks like authenticity. In the comments of RawBeautyKristi's videos, a lot of women her age thank her for her bravery in speaking up about her politics alongside her makeup routine. Kristi's style has always been extremely personal and down to earth, sharing every detail of her life and family with her followers. When she got pregnant after 15 years of struggling with infertility, the beauty community celebrated with her. But after having her son in 2021, Kristi's intimate posts started to attract more scrutiny than followers from fans and beauty fans. As she documented her own struggles with mental health, Kristi drifted closer to the crunchy side of social media, one that often aligned with figures like RFK Jr. Kristi was one of my favorite creators for a very long time. She would curse in her videos and make faces that weren't prim and proper and traditionally feminine. And I just thought that that was very cool, says Matt Bernstein, an OG beauty YouTube fan who made content as a leftist political commentator. Last summer, he released a podcast about Kristi, basically talking about the crunchy to far-right pipeline. There's no problem with wanting to grow your own vegetables, but so often, especially with influencers, you see them add, and we need to return to the land. And what they're pushing in schools today is woke garbage. Bernstein continues, I do think a lot of the beauty audience, Adam mentioned the brainworm man. Brainworm man? What's that mean? I do think a lot of beauty audiences were very liberal in the 2010s, but you can see how there was a natural, segue into where we're at now. Oh, RFK. I thought you meant Matt Bernstein. I was so confused. I literally thought you meant Matt Bernstein. I was like... Anyways, which is some of the biggest beauty influencers are now seemingly conservative. As Wellman explains it, this pipeline can ultimately take participants down an ultra-conservative path that often involves Christianity and white nationalism. But even if influencers say they don't believe in the ideas themselves, their content can lead viewers to believe that they do. RawBeautyKristi did not respond directly to Teen Vogue's request for comment, but she did post a video in response to our emailed her. In the video, she says that she is not alt-right and certainly isn't aligned with white nationalist views. She says she grows her own food and bakes her own bread because she enjoys it and it's fun. And she homeschools her kids because she wants to spend time with them. In the video, she calls the idea that any of these behaviors are linked to far-right ideas as nonsense. Wellman notes that these topics have led others down an alt-right pipeline, though, and engaging in videos about these topics can build an algorithm that leads down that path. All of a sudden, your favorite influencer is not only talking about the clean makeup they bought from Sephora, but also how you can be clean in other ways, Wellman says. How do you take care of your home using clean products? From home it goes to homesteading, and growing your own food, to homeschooling, and then a destruct in government, which means you want a small government, which means you obviously need to vote Republican. Like Jeffree Star, RawBeautyKristi has dipped her toe into talking about politics in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, releasing a video that shunned anyone not mourning Charlie Kirk. But unlike Jeffree Star, Kristi doesn't leverage shock value for engagement by teasing extreme conservative views. Instead, she is much more familiar to everyday women and girls who question prevailing sources of authority. It's sort of this trap that they've fallen into, and I believe there are some influencers who don't realize that they've gotten to this point. Wellman says, I've talked to some, and I truly deep down, they think that they're doing what's best for their audience. There are people who are doing it for the money, and there are people who are doing it because they are seriously fearful and anxious and distrusting of the government. So they reproduce rhetoric. It has become very difficult for consumers to navigate. And all I'm going to say is I cannot believe that this article was what RawBeautyKristi was confronted with, and this made her jump the gun and do that terrible, angry, passive-aggressive, sarcastic video, because everything Kat is saying in this article is a valid point to question. Whether you intend for it to be like this or not, you can be aware that this is what you're giving off. I can't believe that they were like, RawBeautyKristi didn't directly respond to us, but she made a video about it. Crazy. Well, RawBeautyKristi, the article came out. The crash out didn't work, I guess. Goodness me, and we'll leave it there. That article was fucking incredible.